Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And today I wanted to talk about the benefits and the uses of rose petals. Now a lot of people hear about rose hips and all that, and yes, rose hips are excellent. They're incredibly high in vitamin C, but the petals sometimes get overlooked, and though they may not be as high in vitamin C as the hips themselves, they still are full of lots of great benefits and lots of vitamin C, just not as much, and some other vitamins such as C, D, E, one or more of the B vitamins, quercetin and phenolic acid, and a few other really great things in there that are very nourishing, soothing, and helpful to the body, and have very many health benefits. So let's go over some of those benefits, and then I'll talk about some of the ways that I like to use rose petals. So a couple of the properties are that it's anti-inflammatory and antioxidant and antimicrobial. They're very helpful with digestion. They're very soothing to the digestive tract. They help with constipation. They even help with diarrhea. They also help with the urinary tract as well. So just overall soothing to the and helpful to the whole system there. As far as women's health, they're very good at easing cramps and also in helping to regulate flow, especially if you're a woman that has a very heavy flow. A nice rose petal tea will help with that. Very, very good for the skin. It has anti-aging properties. It is really good for helping to cure, prevent, and treat acne, which of course part of that is attributed to the fact that it has antibacterial properties as well. So it's going to help dry up your blemishes without drying the skin, because they're also very moisturizing. Now rose petals can be used in various ways for the skin, for toning, for cleansing, and even for moisturizing. So there's different ways you can use it. I'll get to that in a bit. Let's move on to a few of the other benefits. It's also good at soothing sunburns as well as protecting the skin against sunburns. They help to boost the immune system. They're good for soothing sore throats, and also obviously for preventing and helping to cure colds and flus. It's very detoxifying to the whole body, so that plays right into the digestive tract. This one is just a really good one, is that it helps with depression, and it's very calming. It's very mood boosting. I think a lot of that is not just because of the benefits, the actual physical scientific benefits within the rose petal, but also just the way it makes you feel when you look at it and you're drinking a nice nourishing cup of rose petal tea. It just kind of has this effect on the brain. There's just something about that that's just, it makes you feel good. And also it's great for helping with weight loss, as it controls the appetite. So another really great benefit there. And also really good at nourishing the hair follicles and stimulating hair growth, and conditions the hair as well, just like it would condition your skin. So kind of a rule of thumb is something is good for your skin, is very conditioning and all that, it's also going to do the same to your hair and your scalp. So just keep that in mind when it comes to looking at this kind of stuff. So the rose petals stimulate blood circulation. So that's what's also going to help with stimulating hair growth and helping things to heal, like any skin issues that you have. Anywhere where you can stimulate blood flow to any area is going to help heal much quicker. So what are the ways that you could take or use rose petals for all these various things? Now, the most common way you may find is making it into a tea, because a tea can be taken internally or it can be used externally. So it can be used as a hair rinse or a massage. You can just pour it onto your scalp and then kind of massage it in for using to help stimulate hair growth. It can be used on a cotton cloth and applied as a toner to the skin, or even made as a poultice for helping with different skin related issues, especially with acne. That's the one it's most known for. It can also be made into a paste and applied to the lips to, you know, kind of like you would a mask, like maybe a hair mask, that will help exfoliate and also plump the lips up, as well as soothe and heal any issues, you know, cracks or whatever that you may have on your lips. So you put that on there for a time and then you just rinse it off. I would think that you could also use the rose petals as a coloring for your homemade lip balm. I haven't tried that yet, but it might be a good way to do it. Maybe dehydrating them up really, really dry and then pulverizing them into a powder. That could be one way to do it. Now here are some dehydrated rose petals. I also have a picture that I'll put up here so you can see it better. But I have quite a number of jars, both quart and pint-sized jars, full of dehydrated rose petals, and these are ones I grow myself. Roses are fairly easy to grow, but to buy the dried rose petals can be very expensive. So if you can grow your own, that would be the best way to do it because they dry up beautifully. It's so easy to do. Now when it comes to dehydrated rose petals, the way that I use them the most is for adding to the different soaps that I make, but mostly for infusing my oil along with the calendula, the pansy, and the marshmallow that I use in my homemade skin cream. And again, I will get to it eventually. I'm going to be doing another video, an updated video, on how to infuse your oils using your dried herbs, particularly the oil that I use for the skin, so that you can start making your own and make your own skin cream based off that. And I do have videos out there about infusing oils and about making your own skin cream. I talk about it quite a bit, and I'll go ahead and link to the skin cream video right up here and be watching for the updated video come out on the infusing of the oil. Now, as other things I like to use fresh rose petals for, and here is the infused basically sun tea water that is cold. I've been keeping it in the fridge, and it has a nice taste. I've also added a few pansy flowers to this, but it's mostly rose petals. Now I've been enjoying drinking rose petal tea in the evening, like a hot tea, and I'm coming up with a few different recipes, and I'll be doing a separate video on how some different ideas for making your own rose petal tea. If you don't like just the plain rose petals the way it tastes, I always like to spice things up or mix things up with different herbs and spices and find out what I like best. So I have a few ideas I'm going to share with you in a video coming soon, so be watching for that. But I've really been enjoying the rose petal tea, whether it be iced or hot. And so that way I'm getting all those good benefits of, you know, and vitamins that are in the rose petals, and just enjoying this nice cup of tea in the evening. I love having some kind of herbal tea at night. Okay, one of the most common ways I use fresh rose petals, and I prefer using fresh for this, though you can use dehydrated as well, is to make my homemade vinegar. Now, I do not go down and buy a cheap white vinegar and pour it over the rose petals like some people will do. You want to really try to stay away from using the store-bought vinegars unless you're using Bragg's vinegar or some other organic vinegar, because what you're going to find is usually that cheap white distilled vinegar is made from genetically modified ingredients. But making your own vinegar is so easy, and anyone who's been following me for a while will know that I have lots of vinegar making videos out there. My most popular one is actually one of the very first videos I put out on YouTube. However, I now make it a new way, and I'm going to go ahead and link right up here to my newest my most recent vinegar making video, and I believe that one is mint, dandelion, and pansy or something like that. Anyway, so that is a floral based or herb based vinegar, and you can see how I do it. I have changed over the last couple of years in the way I make my vinegar. Now it's slightly more complicated, but either method will work. Just got to find out which one works best for you. And if you want to go back and watch my old video, just type vinegar into the search bar of my main channel page, and you can find all my different vinegar making videos, because I have quite a few out there. So the floral vinegars, or any of the herbal vinegars, I make them with calendula, sage, anything that's really good for the hair and the scalp. Those are the ones that I use for washing my hair with, and that is probably, I would say, 95 or more % what I use to wash my hair with. Though I do make a homemade shampoo that I really love. I like washing with a homemade vinegar much better because it's easier to make, it's cheaper to make, and I'm making it right here with just whatever I have on hand, the herbs and stuff that I have. And yes, again, you can do this, you can make the vinegar with dried herbs, whatever you have. So if you're through the year, and though I have yet to do this because I usually make so much during this time of the year that I have plenty to last me through the year, you can take your dehydrated herbs and put them in there. You're just obviously not going to fill your jar up as full with the dried herbs if you're doing it that way, but you'll still need to make sure that you add sugar. I would say at least a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup of sugar. A 1/2 cup would be better yet because you're going to get a stronger vinegar. The more sugar you add, the stronger your vinegar is going to be. But it makes a really great hair wash. Now you simply, I use maybe about this much in an 8-ounce bottle, which is probably about an ounce, and then I top it off with water and shake it up, and then that is what I use on my hair. I don't use the vinegar straight, especially my newer vinegars, as they're far more acidic than my earlier vinegars. So keep that in mind. You're going to want to dilute it a little bit, but that also makes it last a lot longer. Now, some other options you can do with your rose petals to incorporate them into your diet more is I like adding them to jams and jellies. Well, I don't really make jelly. I make jam. We like stuff with whole fruit and pieces in it. That's just the way we are. But you can do that with jelly too. I actually years ago had just a plain rose petal jelly that was awesome that somebody had made, and it was really, really good. Especially on toast, very wonderful. But when I do it, I usually just throw them into whatever type of fruit jams or fruit butters that I'm making. Like I've made like apple, lemon, rose petal, or apple, blueberry, rose petal. And I think I mentioned in a previous video about making back when I used to make mead, which is a honey wine. I always like to experiment and try different flavors, adding fruits and herbs and different things. And one of the things I like to add was using plums and rose petals together. That made a very nice flavored mead. So just some ways that you can use that, and the jams and the jellies are just a really great way to do it. But also salads, fresh on salads is really wonderful. And so give that a try. It's a great way to add that pop of color. And again, you're getting all those good nourishing health benefits of the rose petals into your salad. Another thing I would like to try soon is to add it to stir fries. I don't know why I haven't thought of this yet. I've used calendula in stir fries and even pansies, but I haven't tried my rose petals yet. So that's another way you can do that. The cooking with flowers is actually quite common all over the world. It's Americans that tend to have the hardest time with eating flowers. They kind of freak out about it. Not all of us, of course, but just seeing that, having that color in your salad and in your foods, I think that is just one of the most powerful things to help with one's mood. I find it quite exhilarating when I sit down with a bowl of salad with all the beautiful colors in it. It just is it's calming and yet exciting. It makes me feel good. I love it. Very, very antidepressant. So if you're getting depressed at all, feel kind of sad, go out and pick some flowers. Add some pansies, rose petals, and calendula in there and get a lot of vibrant, bright color, and it's just going to really help your mood. And then knowing you're getting all those good nutrients in there as well, I mean, what could be better than that? So be creative with your flowers and your rose petals. And if you have any other ideas, suggestions, or things that you've tried with cooking with rose petals or anything else, maybe infusing other things or even making an extract, go ahead and share below so we can read your comments. The people that have been getting in there and sharing their ideas on my different videos like this it's been really great. It's just some of it's things I've thought of but never tried. Some of it's just totally new things that it's just like, wow, what a great idea. Why didn't I think of that? I love it. So we really enjoy the interaction. So I hope that you'll get in there and share with us, or even if it's just an idea that came to your mind that you've never tried but you think might be cool, go ahead and share that too. It doesn't have to be something that you're experienced at. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something new. Thanks for watching. Take care. And God bless.